Hello, hello.
Hi.
Yes, yes. Time for another mini episode. At the time of this broadcast, it is currently April 1st, April Fool's Day. So, what Mandy and I talked about discussing was first quarter results, because first quarter is now over. Time is flying. What were your highlights of first quarter? What are some goals for second quarter? So, maybe let's kind of go back and forth. Share maybe one of your highlights for first quarter, and then we'll kind of go back and forth and talk about it. And then we'll talk about goals.
I love it all. And I think I'm really glad we're doing this because I think we don't celebrate the mini wins enough. And the mini wins are great for confidence, but it's also great for restructuring future goals. So, in prep for this chat today, I actually pulled down, I've got my annual goals per section visible. They're on pieces of paper like in front of me in my computer. So I pulled those down. And so I have health 2024 health goals and then I
Mhm.
have 2024 business goals. So on my health goals, I have trips and I wanted to there's a couple trips that I wanted to book. And one of them was I wanted to book a bike trip with my aunt, who's like my big sister, and we're doing it in July. And I also wanted to book a trip with my husband to renew our vows. We'll be married for 10 years this summer.
Congratulations.
Um and we booked that. So little wins, right? Like little wins, these are things that make me feel better as a human and getting things on the calendar with the people that I love, and I got 2 of the 4. So I feel really good about that. What
Okay.
about you? Any health goals or personal goals that you accomplished the first quarter?
So I think improving my sleep is a big one.
Mhm.
And so I've been trying to work on that, and we'll have to see about the progress. What I am excited about, I think you saw me ask the guest last week, like I'm gonna get the ring, little ring thing that you can put on to help monitor that.
Aura ring,
Yeah,
yeah.
yes, I'm looking forward to getting that. So hopefully by second quarter, I'll have that done. That's probably the biggest personal one besides exploring Las Vegas, which I continue to do. Yesterday, I actually went to Red Rock Canyon. Oh my gosh, we went on this hike. This is not your normal just walking up a path for your hike.
Oh,
We had
no, I know, I used to live by Red Rocks, like, I that is no joke. Like, tell me, which one did you
we
do?
had
Do
to
you remember
hop
the name
over
of
like
it?
boulders and wade through, not really wade through water, but traverse through water and all stuff. I woke up this morning, I was like, uh-oh, I'm in pain.
You need some magnesium oil?
Yes, something. I need all the oils. So that's part of the exploration. So that's another goal that I think I'm making very good progress on that one. Go ahead.
I wanna go back to your sleeping.
Mm,
So, you've been talking about wanting to sleep better. What little mini things have you applied this year so far that you feel have been
right.
successful?
Trying to go to bed earlier at just
What
a earlier time, say like
Okay.
10 o'clock, I say like 11:30 or midnight, because I could be a little bit of a night owl. Trying to get
Mhm.
off of the blue screens before, a couple hours before bed. I have a weighted blanket, so using that to see if how that
Aw,
helps.
that's sweet.
Um, I get a little hot underneath it, so I gotta work on that. So those are 3 things that I've tried so far to improve sleep, make sure the room is cool. Yeah, that's it, I think.
Those are all great things. Those are all
Mhm.
of that stuff should help. Sleeping, people underestimate the importance of sleep, but sleep is very, 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 very important. I slept like a champion this weekend. I'm a
Oh,
good sleeper. Good
this
sleeper.
week is this week is spring break, so I'm anticipating being able to sleep in, not sleep in relatively, but, just sleep much better, so I'm really excited about that. And then professionally, I have my goals here. I use Evernote. So I keep my goals on Evernote.
Okay.
I need to print them out though and put them up. I think I'm going to do that right
Make
above.
a visual. Make those visual. I like making goals visual.
So the whole book launch is a big professional goal for this year. So we got it going through final edits. We're trying to determine the proper title of the book. Um, and now I'm working on the pictures. I had the first live stream where people could hop on and give me advice about the pictures. That was last Thursday. I'm doing another one Wednesday. So, yeah, you were gonna say something?
I forgot to tune in.
It's okay. I'll invite you to the one on Wednesday. Don't worry.
As you said that, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I was so excited to tune in and I can't remember what happened." I'm sure something. I'm so sorry.
Okay. It's okay. We'll have
Okay.
another one this week. So that would be one of the professional goals. And then the second one that I made progress on, well, really three, is completing the rebrand. Like I'm kind of going through the branding work. So I had my call this morning, and so it's helping. That's going well. It's a lot of work, which I need to do. And then I had a goal of like 12 paid speaking gigs this year. I already did one for a couple weeks ago when I was tuning in or broadcasting from the spaceship, as you called it. And
Congratulations.
thank you. And we're working on a couple more. I got a couple more leads too. So hopefully we can make those happen and continue to make progress. How about
Keep
you?
going. Well, speaking of the coaching speaking, I had a goal to secure, and I wrote down the names, secure these 3 speaking or coaching engagements, and I've secured them all. I've already done them all. So it's funny because I put this at the beginning of the year, and as I look down, I'm like, oh, I did that one on March 6th. I did that one on March 10th. I did that one. So that's great. Like there's 3 great coaching engagements, and it's interesting with the hospitality sales space. They do hospitality training, and I don't like taking salespeople out of the office for a full day. I just, as a customer, I don't like that. I don't like to not have access for the full day. I don't think it's good for business.
Mhm.
And so what I did differently this year was I broke my sessions into 6 sessions, and
Mhm.
there's 6 70-minute sessions. So, and it's a mix of in person and Zoom. And so one of them was just one 90-minute session, which is already done. And the other 2 were 6 sessions. And I've already done 2 sessions for one group and 2 sessions for the other group, but those 2 groups bought 6 sessions. So,
Wow.
I secured them and I'm halfway through presenting them. But that was a big goal that I achieved. I'm super excited about, and I want to keep doing that. And then the other thing is I wanted to tweak my business bedside manner slides because
Mhm.
that's my keynote speech. And last year I delivered it and it was great, but it needed some updating. And I tweaked it, and I've already delivered that speech twice this year. And I think people like the new material. So I've been getting great feedback on it. So that's something I set for the beginning of the year. I tweaked it and delivered it twice, and so far so great.
Now we have to get you. I talked to you about Talkadot before. Did I? And I sent you the information for Talkadot.
I don't remember. You might have.
Because we have
Yeah.
to do that because I think that's going to help even more at the end. And I'll show you how it works during our talk next week for WeCon.
Okay.
So remind me
Cool.
about Talkadot. Now, are you going to adjust your goal now that you've already gotten your 3 and maybe add and get more, or what do you think?
No, because I've got other goals on here. I've got like for coaching, I've got 3 goals and I conquered 1. For speaking, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 goals and I conquered 2. Yeah, so I still got to chip away. I still have to chip away at these. Yeah.
Is there a goal that you have that you're like, oof, I'm not sure if I'm going to get there this year? One that kind of looks a little tough now after 1 quarter.
Our podcast goal. I have a revenue number and sponsorships for the year that I want us to secure. And I don't know if it'll happen. I think other things have to get into play
Yeah.
before
Yes.
it happens, but it's good to have it visual because it's on front of mind.
Yes. That's a good
Yeah.
one there too.
Yeah. What about you?
Um,
What's a stretch goal for you that you're like, oh man, I don't know if I can do this?
hmm. Looking here, I have a goal of adding an additional teaching position outside of Cal State University Fullerton to diversify. I'm not sure how that's going to happen, but that's a goal. So that could be one. That's probably one I'm like, I don't know. But maybe in
Hmm.
3 months or 6 months, some things have changed and I will be able to say, aha, this happened.
You
That's what
never know when space opens up. You never know.
you can say that again twice. So that will be one for me. Okay, so we talked about goals. Did we talk about highlights for the first quarter? Any highlights? We talked about goals, highlights, anything, any other highlights for first quarter you want to share?
I mean, I'm just loving doing sales coaching for large group teams in the hospitality space and then non-hospitality space. I've been doing a bunch of stuff for software and engineering and manufacturing. So I'm loving every nook and cranny of sales coaching right now. And then speaking, it's just been unexpected delight. So I'm loving it. Highlights, highlights, highlights for sure. What
Which
about
reminds
you? What's your big highlight?
I'll share my big highlight. Let me think on it. first, but how has all of the seeds, because you worked very hard last year planting a lot of seeds and they're coming to bloom now. How has that happened? Like what have you noticed from the work you did last year? How's it benefiting you this year?
I mean, I planted the seeds on social media. I planted the seeds sending emails. I'm paying attention to when people are actually booking their training, like their budget review is around October. So I learned last year if I talk with them in November, December, it's a little too late. So I'm trying to have conversations earlier this year so I can be put in the budget for next year. So I think I learned a lot about timing and how to go forward this year with that.
Nice. That's a good
Yeah.
tip there. I think one mini, we just need to go into sales. Just talk about sales, all the sales things and all the things we do. Because I'm like a student at the front of the class when Manny's talking, just taking my notes there and
Oh
everything.
my Amani, you're the best salesperson ever.
I have some areas of opportunity, so follow up. But let's make sure we write that down for our next
Okay.
meeting to talk about that. Like put that
I'm
on
gonna
a
put it in our
schedule.
spreadsheet. I'm putting it in our anybody that doesn't know, we have several group community docs. Mandy and Amani show. I'm putting it in, Amani. I'm
Yeah.
putting it in.
As you're
We're
putting
not,
in, I'm trying to
yeah.
think of my highlight for the first quarter. I
Yeah. What is
mean,
your highlight?
I would say DJing at this one lounge in the Durango Casino in February. Then just this past Friday, I kind of made like my little Vegas nightclub debut, playing right after my close friend DJ Tina T for her birthday. That was at the Ghost Bar in um, Palms Casino. So those are like
Ooh,
two
how'd that
events.
go?
It
That's
was good.
cool.
It was great. It was crowded. It was really good. It went very well. That would be a highlight. I think when I was a couple weeks ago when I moderated that um, panel discussion in front of 1,000 people for California Charter School Association. That was another big highlight. Um, and I'll say, I always like to share a teaching highlight. I think for the second time, I was nominated for part-time faculty member of the year.
Yes.
That's another highlight. So those are some highlights. I think next this upcoming quarter, I have more with like speaking and things. So just kind of continue to stack everything on top of each other.
Stack it up. I can't wait to hear what's next. Amani, think about where you are. And I want everybody to think about this. Where are you today versus where you were yesterday, the week before, the month before, the year before? And I think sometimes we think in these huge pictures
Mhm.
and the boulder feels impossible to push. But the reality is, if you're just moving the needle a little bit, just a little bit, every day and then you look back and you see how far you've come, like, just don't forget to look back to see how far you've come. We've come so much farther than we realize. We're just such self-graders and we're so judgy. We're so hard on ourselves when we look how far we've come. It feels really good. So
Yes.
I just want to, Amani, look how like you're doing that. I keep seeing you. You're like, I DJ'd the opening reception and I moderated the general session. Like this is like the third or fourth time you've done it. It's such a good
Yes.
combination thing. As a planner, it's
Mhm.
good to have somebody be able to do that too, to know that's your skill set. It's rare. Not a lot of people do that. So
Yes.
just yeah,
Thank you.
it's cool.
Yes, we have to give ourselves grace and celebrate. So this was like a celebration stream. I like this one. We have to make sure we notate this one for next quarter. Great. So that takes us to the end of the mini. Make sure you are subscribing. You're following us on the Spotify, Apple Podcast, wherever you have watch your podcast content or listen to it. Share it with a friend. Review us, and tune back in next week for our next mini.
Tune back in next week. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye.